Welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 317.
Real simple workout. Two things to focus on: some snatch and some pull-ups. For the snatch, I was kind of intending on doing some complexes. So, like I did in the warm-up, as you'll see here later, I did a complex of a power snatch followed by a hang power snatch, and then a snatch from the floor followed by a hang snatch. I probably did that up to 60 kilos, and then I decided I was going to make the jump to 80, not realizing that I wasn't going to be able to do that with 80 at all. And all I was able to manage with 80 kilos involved was just some singles, but I did some decently high volume on the singles anyway. So what you're watching here is my standard snatch warm-up. It's 10 snatch pulls to the power position, 10 snatch turnovers, and then followed up by 10 overhead squats. This is probably my go-to snatch warm-up. I've always done this before any session, even before cleans. It's just a great way to warm up the entire body, especially the shoulders. It helps to warm up the shoulders, the upper back. Really fixating that overhead position, getting that overhead position quite nice. And especially if you're new to snatch, I would highly recommend doing the overhead squats as slowly as possible, because it's going to help to improve your overhead stability and just making your bottom position in the overhead squat nice and rock solid. What I was intending to focus on today with my snatch on the reps that I was doing was just making sure that turnover position, when I turn over, I'm really punching straight upwards into the bar. So as the bar comes off of my hips, I'm just making sure the bar goes straight upwards. What I tend to do, especially if I haven't done snatch in a while and I've lost technique, I tend, whenever I come to doing snatch after having not done it in a little while, I find that I jump backwards quite a lot. I tend to want to overextend into the bar, so I'll basically like shoot the bar out in front of my hips, and then I'll sort of jump backwards a little bit, which usually means I'm off balance when I catch. It means that I tend to lose the bar forwards because my hips have gone backwards, the bar's gone forwards, so I'm naturally going to want to ditch the bar forwards. So really what I was trying to drill and focus on is just straight up with the bar as I come up with it, and then jump the feet outwards, not forwards or backwards. So bar goes up, feet goes out. I generally tend to think that the shorter the number of words you can think of in the cue, the more likely you are to remember it. You can't think during a snatch or a clean. These movements they happen in a fraction of a second. If you're trying to think about doing something like I need to make sure I extend my hips this much, or I need to do this. If it's anything more complex than jump your feet out, or like feet out, chest up, or something like that. If it's anything more complex than that, you're probably not going to be able to cue it in the right amount of time. After all, learning all of these things, it's very much nervous system. It's motor learning. It's learning things so that they happen automatically. It's not a case of learning it consciously. You drill it to the point where it is unconscious, so that it can just happen faster than your conscious mind can comprehend. So that's essentially what's happening in any kind of high speed, high velocity movement, such as a snatch, a clean and jerk, or anything in sports. Any technical, highly specific motor pattern, you can't just consciously learn it and think about every part of the movement. In fact, the more you think about it, the less likely you are to get the movement correct. You need to be thinking about it less and just letting the automatic processes take place as they are. Anyway, so this is the last warm-up set that you're seeing here. At 60 kilos, doing the 2+2, so two. So the hang power snatch, the power snatch from the floor, then the hang power snatch, and then the hang snatch and the hang power and the snatch from the floor. So let me repeat that one more time to make sure I remember it. Power snatch from the floor, followed by a hang power snatch, and then a snatch from the floor, followed by a hang snatch. So a nice way to sort of mirror the two movements, the power and then the full movement, doing them from both of the same positions. Quite a nice little complex that I find helps me to really drill the movement pattern, and all throughout this entire process, I'm really focusing on just drilling the bar straight upwards. Then I attempted to do a power snatch, which I think I might have edited out actually. Attempted to do a power snatch with the 80, didn't manage it, and I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to do some singles with 80. That's all I'm going to get today, and that's fine. You can accept that. I could accept that. And then I was just seeing if I could gradually build the singles from 80. So 80 was good. Got another one with 80, I think, or is this 85? If I'm not mistaken, this is 80 as well. When I figured out that 80 was okay, I tried to jump up to 85. Missed the first rep, but I knew that I wasn't missing it by that much, so I was able to get it on that next one. This one was okay, a little bit unstable in the bottom position, but one thing I've learned with Snatch for doing it over these last couple of years now. Is that you shouldn't try and rush standing up the snatch. You should really just try and lock in the bottom position, stay as stable as possible, make sure you're completely stable, and then stand up. It's not like the clean, where you can utilize a little bit of that bounce in the bottom position and stand it up. If you haven't got it stable in the bottom position of a snatch, there's no way you're standing that bar up. There's no way you're standing up stably without wobbling or potentially losing it forwards or backwards. You have to make sure you're rock solid in that bottom position, catch it. If there's going to be any wobbles, then stand up. Like if it was any more unstable than like I did there, then you're losing that bar out the front. Always make sure you catch it nice and stably in the bottom, and then stand it straight back up. That was pretty much it for the snatch. I did 10 singles, didn't make all of them. I think I managed to make 8 singles out of 10, which isn't bad for me. 85 is a bit so-so. I think I've done a double with 85, but I'm not the most conditioned for snatch at the moment. Then I moved into some pull-ups. I did a set of 10 pull-ups with pronated grip and then a set of 10 with supinated grip. And then I did some weighted pull-ups, just adding 10 kilos onto my waist with both grips again. We're going to do a nice narrow grip for the supinated grip. I don't often go this narrow. I tend to find I actually get a lot more bicep activation, a little bit more upper chest activation. I don't know if anyone else notices this when they do like super duper narrow grip chins, but I've definitely found this is the case. You might think that's kind of strange. How are you getting pectoral engagement from doing a pulling exercise? But go and try it, and tell me what you think. It could just be me, my personal anatomy, and I get this alone. But I've definitely heard it reported on in the past that you'll get a little bit more. Some people get chest activation from doing super narrow grip pull-ups. At any rate, here is that last set of weighted chins. Only plus 10 kilos, but I was really struggling on this last set. I don't know if it's just fatigue at the moment. I haven't been sleeping the best. These super duper long nights have been really messing up my sleeping pattern. But nonetheless, got to get these workouts in no matter what. And I'm super duper grateful for the fact that I've got a garage where I can just do the workouts in. Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.